Wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me that we already did minute 38?
Wait a minute. I have a sentimental weakness for my co-host, as you can see, and I spoil him. Hey, everyone, it's Godfather Minute. I'm Alex Robinson.
And I'm Andy Robinson.
And this is the podcast Godfather Minute, where we go through the entire Godfather movie 1 minute at a time. Usually.
Almost always.
As we discovered, much to our horror, and I can't believe no one called us on this, that the last minute we talked about basically 2 minutes worth of stuff.
We did 2 minutes in 1 minute.
It was crazy.
I know.
Well, explain how it happened.
What I think we need are some minute monitors.
We do need a minute moderator.
A minute moderator. If there's anyone out there that would like to call us on this in the future. So what happened is we ended up commenting on more than just minute 38.
Right. But what happened was we finished minute 38, and then we were like, oh my God, we never even mentioned about Sonny and being hot for the deal and everything. And then we're like, okay, let's record a bit, and we seamlessly integrated it into the show. And then we realized the reason we didn't do that is because it's in minute 39.
Yeah. Yeah, so, it makes me wonder if unchecked, how far would we have gotten? Like, and then Hyman Roth comes in and he tries to make a deal with Michael.
Yeah. And then he's like, every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. Somebody was asking me if we were going to do all three.
It's so weird that you bring that up, because I was just thinking that, of course, we have to do Godfather 2, but I don't know if you've been following Fredo Corleone's Mickey Mouse Nightclub on Facebook, Alex, but there's overwhelming support for us skipping 2 and going right to Zaza.
Wow, that's a surprise.
People want to know the real deal about episode 3.
Yeah, episode 3. Well, the good news is we're about halfway to our Patreon goal. Of if we basically double the amount of Patreons we have now, then we will do a Godfather 3 commentary.
Really?
Yeah, that was when we came up with that.
Did
idea.
I agree to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait. Are you trying to tell me that if we get to a certain amount...
Wait a minute. This Patreon account. Yeah, so hopefully we'll get to watch Zaza and Friends soon.
I don't know. Skipping Godfather 2 and going right to 3, that's a little risky. A little dangerous. Is that what he says?
One thing I did learn since last week, I started listening to a podcast called Mafia.
Whoa.
Which is about the history of the Mafia.
The real Mafia.
Okay. Yeah, and they talk about the idea when drugs were first being integrated in the 40s and 50s, and the reason why it was considered a dangerous business is because penalties for drugs were much harsher than for like bootlegging or assault or like that. So they were worried it increased the chances that someone would get busted and flip.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Because they're like, I'll do a 10-year stretch, but a life sentence for doing some, or I don't know if it was life sentence, but clearly enough where that's why the mob bosses were like, no, it's too much of a hot,
the cost benefit analysis didn't really make it worthwhile.
Right.
Well, and that's why political protection is so important, too. Right.
But
I guess judges would give lenient sentences.
It's true.
That's a show cause. Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of a nice bit of a coincidence, learning that.
Yeah.
And
so this is minute...
Oh, yeah, we didn't even do that. Okay.
39, right?
39. Minuto número 39.
I think you just said... This is minute 3 new.
Well, it is
close, I think.
Yeah.
No, it is, Alex,
minuto
número 39.
39.
Good, 39.
Minute número 39.
You're bleeding into Spanish. This is Al Pacino plays a Sicilian, not a Mexican American.
In this one.
He
played a Cuban in another movie.
He did. Say hello to him. Oh, we got to cross that over at some point.
Do you think you can get away with that these days?
What do you mean?
Because nowadays it seems like there's a lot more sensitivity about like, oh, they're having a Mexican guy play a Cuban guy.
Yeah.
Like now, like with that, would having an Italian guy play a Cuban guy, would that raise some hackles? Give us a call if you know.
Well, I'm thinking about that question because I think Italians might argue that they had not been put into Hollywood. Like Italian actors have not had the same opportunities as white Anglo actors in the history of Hollywood. So it's kind of odd that you're criticizing an Italian for playing someone of another race. Maybe.
Well, first of all, I should point out that minute 39 starts with the Don explaining to the Turk that it doesn't matter what your man does for a living. And it ends a minute later with everyone awkwardly shuffling out the door.
Yeah.
And so that's that.
That's the minute.
There was a TV special in 1980 that was, remember Spitting Image?
No.
Okay, do you remember that Land of Confusion Genesis video with all those creepy puppets?
Oh, yeah.
That was a show called Spitting Image.
Oh,
and they
really?
did a TV special about Hollywood. And one of the running gags in it is that people kept confusing Dustin Hoffman, Robert De Niro, and Al Pacino. Like no one could tell them apart.
Oh, wow. What year was this?
1980.
Okay.
And it's funny because I guess to us, they're such iconic people. Like you would never mistake but maybe, I was wondering if there's some element of like, well, they're all Italian. They're all dark skinned Mediterranean types. Who can tell them apart? Like it's just kind of like a kind of, subtle racism, like you said, discrimination against Italians.
And I guess that was early in their careers, so they had not done much.
Yeah.
Their careers were not outstanding.
Right. Yeah. They were all like serious, brooding type of, method-y type actors. So
those puppets were kind of creepy, weren't they?
Totally creepy.
Yeah. Was that a certain artist, a style?
Well, it was like a studio called Spitting Image or something.
Okay.
I don't know about the making of it or anything, unfortunately.
And it was called that because the artist truly believed that the puppets looked exactly like them. Like the people they were portraying, they were spitting images.
Well, the expression is splitting images.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. Like, it's the splitting image.
Oh, it's not spitting image?
No.
Oh my gosh, I think I think
a lot of people make that, because even splitting image is a weird thing to say. Like, what does that mean exactly?
But it really is, it's not spitting image.
No, that show was called Spitting Image because it was making fun of celebrities. It was spitting on them.
Oh,
so it was
nice.
Yeah.
Wow, I think I always grew up thinking it was spitting image, and maybe it's because I saw that at some point and it just burned in my brain that it was spitting image. But splitting image. I guess makes sense.
Well, I guess because it's one thing kind of split into two.
Yeah, or maybe if you kind of half look like them.
Yeah, right. So splitting image means you kind of look like you do walk on two legs, just like Robert De Niro. So.
That's why Dustin Hoffman, Al Pacino, and Robert De Niro were all confused.
Right. Well, so
I have some questions about this minute.
Okay, go ahead.
I just need to lay them on you.
Sure, go.
Why is Fredo at this meeting?
That's a good question. Because he's not. He's dumb.
Well, is he dumb?
Everyone says he's dumb.
Huh. I mean, he was just non-strategically ambitious.
Well, that's a good way.
And I'm not just trying to be politically correct for poor Fredo Corleone. I don't know if he was just straight up dumb.
Well, see, that's the thing. Fredo wasn't smart enough to come up with that spin. You know what I mean? He wouldn't say, "Oh yeah, I'm just." That's called passive ambition. You wait till everyone ahead of you dies, and you become the boss.
I guess if he were smart, then he would recognize the limits of his capabilities and would be content running a nightclub or going to the airport. Yeah. But there's some term for that where people think their skill level is more than it is. I just read about it.
I was just reading.
In poker, I read about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was just reading a thing about how the worst kind of dumb people are the people who are too dumb to realize how dumb they are.
Yeah.
Or how, those people you see on American Idol who go out there and sing very terribly and they clearly think they're good singers. It's like that kind of a thing. But Fredo seems like he's on the edge.
Yeah.
He knows he's not a good singer, but he clearly is frustrated about it because he feels like he got stepped over. Although I guess at this point he hasn't been stepped over. So maybe Fredo's like, well, I got to get in there because if Sonny ever croaks, I'm the boss of the family, right, Pop?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, go ahead, come to the meeting. Just don't talk too much.
In that meeting, Fredo did better than Sonny. Kept his mouth shut.
Yeah. See, Pop? See? I can keep my mouth shut.
It'd be so great if behind the scenes we found out that Fredo was super smart. He actually just played dumb.
Yeah.
And he even baited Sonny earlier, right before the meeting. He's like, you know what, this deal, he even talks to him. He's like, Sonny, this deal is so hot. There's something in it. He even uses his own language. There's something in it for you, Sonny. There's something in it for you. You just got it. Their Satalis are guaranteeing the finance.
He's like, the only way I would do this job is if the Satalias were guaranteeing our money. That's the only time I would do it. Other than that, it's a terrible thing to do.
It turns out Fredo is even a teetotaler. He doesn't even drink. He just feigns being intoxicated.
He's a mole, actually. He's working for the FBI this whole time. That's deep undercover.
Well, why would he be working for the FBI?
Well, to take down the Corleone family.
Oh, but he really is a Corleone child?
His mama back in the day.
His mama? Your mama.
No, mama back in the day had a one-night stand and she didn't realize that was an FBI agent planting a future FBI agent in.
Oh my god.
So once Fredo got to school, they connected with him and they're like, listen, kid, you're a spy for us. And then Fredo's like, all right.
So he's like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah, well, he knew. He knew there was nothing for him.
No, but that was his voice. He's like, all right, I'll do it. What do you need me to do? Like, first we need you to change your voice. We got to convince people that you're dumb.
The other reason he could be at the meeting is because, as we see later, Fredo is kind of like the Don's sort of like assistant. He's like helping him clean up the office and go tell Paulie to bring the car out. You know what I mean? He's like the kind of like helper.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just there all the time anyway.
Yeah. But you don't think the Don sees him as an enemy and is keeping him even closer than his friends, right? He still sees him as a son.
Yeah.
Maybe he's onto it.
Well, he sees Fredo as a.
I think maybe Don Corleone knows Fredo is an FBI agent and is keeping him really close.
Oh, and he's feeding him false
and that's
information.
why he said no to Sollozzo. He actually, Pop was hot for that deal too, but he couldn't say yes because he knew the feds were listening.
That's what the Don said to Sonny. He's like, listen, act like you're hot for the deal. We want Sonny to think that, we want Freddie to think that this is a good deal.
And Hagen's actually working for INS, trying to get them all deported back to Sicily.
There's no one there who's actually legitimately part of the Corleone family.
Clemenza's with ATF.
Tessio's with Interpol.
This messes up all the Interpol's plans. I mean, my plans.
Can't we just assassinate Castro for old time's sake?
That'd be so funny if only Don Corleone. He's the only one running business. He's like, no matter I'm working so hard, I'm the only one actually working on this business.
And then when he gets shot, it's like people, like all different parties are shooting at him because they all want to take him down.
They want a piece of him.
Oh, did you say you have any more questions?
Oh, I got tons of questions.
Tons of questions.
Tons.
Wow, good thing we covered some of this last week.
I'm sort of overconfident.
Oh yeah.
I'm overcompensating because I realized that we already talked about a lot of the content of this meeting, but some things we did not talk about. Mm-hmm. So in the minute, at the end of the meeting, everyone stands up right away except who?
Sonny, I noticed that too.
Yes, and I didn't notice on first watch.
And we did not comment on it last week.
That's true. I checked.
Yeah. He does stand eventually, but he's definitely like almost putting on a show of like stubbornness.
Yeah. And he has this kind of look on his face. I couldn't tell whether it was stubbornness or disappointed in himself look. Why do you think he did not stand up right away?
He had to have been like embarrassed. Mm-hmm. And maybe that was just his way of, I don't know. He sitting down was like the temper part of him. Mm-hmm. It was just like as a sign of disrespect to the Turk, he's not even going to get up. And then he was like, I have to get up because Pop would say it's the smart thing to do. You know, you have to go. You have to play nice. You can't be making enemies. So that's why I think
the smart move.
Yeah, but figure he was embarrassed in front of the Turk, in front of Tom, who's not even his brother, and then Fredo of all people.
Yeah.
Good. At least Michael wasn't there for the
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, was it because he was embarrassed or because he was mad at Pop's decision?
Oh, you think he was mad at Pop?
Like part of him thinks part of me thinks that he was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're
interesting.
not doing this deal, and then just slowly getting up.
Or
Wow, we all know that this is the thing of the future, and my Pop's being stubborn. I don't know. It could have gone either way. Yeah,
that's an interesting take though of Sonny being chafing at the restraints of the Don.
Yeah, we know he was hot for the deal.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. I have a couple more questions. Should I keep firing away?
Sure, sock it to me.
Do you think Clemenza was hot for the deal?
I don't think Clemenza had the head for big deals that the Don did. So I think he's kind of like whatever the Don wants.
Yeah.
He's fine with it. I'm always not always thinking about it, but I periodically think about it. What if Clemenza had been in Godfather 2 and as basically the Frankie Five Angels character,
having stayed behind in New York and run the family from there.
Yeah, and now wanting to start his own family because he wants to get out from under.
I can't see Clemenza drinking from a hose. I take that back. I could totally see him drinking from a hose.
Well, he'd have a big pitcher.
Who would be his Cheech?
Paulie. We're not going to be seeing him anymore.
No.
I don't know.
He'd have maybe it would be Cheech. It'd probably be Cheech.
Oh yeah, that makes sense because they
comes up through the ranks.
Basically assigned him to Frankie Five Angels.
Clemenza's like, Cheech, I can't work with this guy, Cheech.
Paul. So what was your question again?
Was Clemenza hot for the deal? I think you're right that he, time and time again, he saw that Don Corleone was so wise that he just would support whatever decision he made.
Oh, now what about Tessio?
That was my next question.
Because he's the smart one.
He's the smarter one.
I'm going to say Tessio is at least, I don't know. We don't know enough about Tessio.
Yeah.
Like, it might be the kind of thing where he is hot for the deal because it's smarter, but it also might be like he doesn't like the idea of Sonny being the, basically Sonny is the new kid, and Tessio's like chafing at that, so he's like, oh, I don't want to. If Sonny's for it, I'm against it.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as an old school kind of like resenting that your
Yeah.
coworker's kid is going to be running the show now.
Or maybe this is one of the first moments where Tessio starts to realize that at some point he needs to jump ship because maybe he sees that the Don is slipping. This guy is a little old fashioned.
Yeah. It's so funny because I'm like, well, also, he's like a really old guy, but he wasn't that old.
Tessio or Abe Vigoda?
I think, because I guess Abe Vigoda looks like such an old man, but he was probably like in his late 40s.
That's crazy. He just seems so old. He always has the same look and face and clothes. Bonnie, take the deal.
Bernice.
It's hard to do a good Tessio.
Yeah, he doesn't talk very much.
No.
It's funny because when you do your Mo Green, you say, I talked to Barzini. That sounds like Tessio to me. That kind of like Tom Ferrol, like that kind of like, anyway, I can't do it. I talked to Barzini.
We may need to do an I talked to Barzini countdown.
That's the next. This is something we talked about at Fredo Corleone's and Mickey Mouse nightclub, the idea of, because we know we have the cannoli countdown. And so once we get to that minute in like, I don't know, how long is it? How long until we get to the cannoli?
From now?
Yeah, how long until we get to the scene where he says, take the cannoli?
Countdown, guns and cannoli. Countdown, won't be seeing Paulie no more.
Paulie betrayed me, he got a cold and then didn't show up to work. I thought Paulie was a good kid, but it turned out he was the stupid jerk.
I'm talking about a countdown, guns and cannoli. Countdown, you won't be seeing Paulie no more.
You gotta leave the gun to send a clear message, or else you might lose your life. And whatever you do, take that cannoli. Don't upset Clemenza's wife.
We're working on a countdown, guns and cannoli. You won't be seeing Paulie no more.
How many minutes left? How many minutes left? We're doing the countdown.
It is in minute 59, and it's minute 39 right now.
Okay, so in what, like 15
It's
minutes
like
or so?
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
So once that happens, we'll have to come up with other landmarks that we can.
We could have, we wanted to go crazy. We could have simultaneous countdowns.
Boy, multiples.
We could have like Hyman Roth.
What are the 5 lines that
You know what? Let's save this for the bonus content.
Oh, all right.
Top
I also prepared some bonus content material.
Okay.
Looking back at the year 1972, the year this came out, just to put things in context. So,
Awesome. So stick around for the bonus
Yeah,
content.
if-
So I think that's a great idea. We'll talk about the top 5 countdowns that we should do. But
And-
let me do a little teaser. Maybe one of them should be when we get to the end of the cannoli countdown and Paulie dies, we renew the cannoli countdown, but going through the remainder of Godfather 1, 2, 3, and then back to Godfather 1 again.
and circling back?
Circling back. So
Oh
it'll be
my
like
God.
a 300-minute countdown. What, are you scared?
No, I ain't
scared?
scared. Yeah, okay, let's do it.
Okay.
We might as well start it now then.
Yeah.
We'll might as well start we'll lap it once.
We'll
and
lap
then
it.
We'll lap it.
Yeah,
So
like the old video games. We're going to flip the screen.
We're gonna flip the board. Yeah, so if you want to hear the bonus content, go to godfatherminute.com/support and sign up there, and you can hear extended versions of each episode. Basically, what we're doing today is kind of like what the bonus content is usually like, just us picking a topic about the Godfather and just kind of riffing about it.
and being brilliantly funny about it.
Brilliantly funny about it, yeah. So,
Those are all the questions I had about the actual minute.
okay.
Well, I had one more. Would you have taken the deal, Alex? If you were Don Corleone, not Alex Robinson in the year 2018.
Well, if I was Don Corleone, then no, because he doesn't take it. So if I'm Don Corleone, I can't change what he does.
That's true. If you were,
If I was projected back into Don Corleone's body,
yes. If he was a puppet on your strings, like so many nickels and
those big
dimes
shots.
in his, yeah. I refuse to be a fool.
I think that I would have taken it. Of course, it's easy in hindsight
Yeah.
because I know that drugs are the coming thing.
Yeah.
So
Now, would you have taken it because it's a good deal, or because you don't want to be shot by Sollozzo's goons?
well, I guess if I know that that's going to be the outcome, I guess I would just, when I get transported into the body, I would immediately kill Sollozzo like as soon as he walked in the door. Like the equivalent of killing Hitler when
got
he's
it.
like a baby.
Yeah.
So
Oh, but then you don't know what would have happened. Oh, you would have started another war immediately, right? No, maybe not.
because he was kind of a lone wolf, the Turk. He had business partnerships.
Yeah, he was just trying to break into the New York scene. That was my impression.
Yeah. Or just wanted to make connections. Because I don't think he was. Do you think if, let's just say when Sonny killed the Turk, would
Sonny killed the Turk. Sonny killed the Turk. Sounds like a 50s song.
would the Tatalias and Barzini have gone along with would they have gone to war over that? I just don't see it. I mean, let's say they just wanted an excuse, a pretense to go to war with the Corleones.
No, I don't think they would have.
Yeah.
No, and the only reason war happens is because Don Corleone gets shot.
Right. And then
But
Sonny,
I think if Sollozzo had been the first casualty, it may have staved off a war. Maybe there would have been a war, not now, but maybe in 5 years, 10 years.
maybe not now, but maybe 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you got to get rid of that bad blood every now and then. It's just
Got to go to the mattresses.
Yeah.
Got to hire some button men.
some button men. And then I would
So you'd kill the Turk right away.
I would kill the Turk, and then I would take whatever money the Turk had on him, and I would put it in a safe. And then I would go back to my present body, and then I would open the safe, and there'd be like $500 in there.
$500. You do all that. You'd blow probably $2 million on time travel charges.
Is it
Just
that much?
Oh yeah, it is.
I haven't been keeping up with the prices.
And then would you have gotten back into drugs way back at that time? You would have killed Sollozzo, but would have you gotten into the business of drugs?
I really would have gotten into drugs. Oh, the business of drugs?
The business
No.
of drugs. Have you ever been on the dark web, Alex?
Yes, that's what I would do. I would put 10 pounds of cocaine in the bank. And then when I got back to the present, thanks to interest, there would be like 500 pounds of cocaine in the bank.
Oh my God, would it still be any good?
I don't know. Does it have a shelf life?
I mean, it's organic. It's chemical compounds. It probably would
Does
degrade.
salt have a?
Oh gosh.
Anyway,
I don't know.
Give us a call. Let us know.
If you're a chemist,
Well, let's look. Let's ask and answer this on the bonus.
we're gonna ask. No, we asked. We're
gonna
going to answer.
Let me write it down. So
Write that one down. I when I listen back to our podcast episodes and I'm scrubbing them for appropriate language, I always come across questions that we ask and forget to answer. So I'm starting to write them down.
That's a good idea. Then
One of them came up for this episode.
Okay.
So way back in episode 34, we asked the listeners.
Gosh, that was like
I
10
know.
episodes ago.
I know. In front of what restaurant does Sollozzo pick Michael up? This was a trivia question you asked in a bonus. Asked me in a bonus content. And I said I wanted time to think about it. And I haven't thought about it. Do you remember?
It's not Dempsey's, is it?
It might be. Yeah, it might be.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, there it is.
We'll look up and we'll see if this is correct.
Kicking the can down the road again.
Yeah, exactly. Let me write this down. Dempsey's. All right. So anything else for this minute? Oh, yeah. So, it ends with the guys awkwardly shuffling out of the room.
No. It ends with Luca Brasi coming in and then the Don sending
that's my
him
favorite scene when Don's like, I want you to go undercover. Don Corleone.
That's all I have for this minute.
All right. So, we got to rate it.
Do you have to rate it?
Rate the minute.
So let's think back to what actually happened. The Don says no.
The Don says no.
He gives his reasons why.
Dirty business.
And then they all shake hands
Sonny
awkwardly.
interrupts.
Sonny interrupts. That is a good one.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Stop the picture. Stop the picture.
Stop the execution. Stop the picture.
Cut.
It'd be funny if Brando mistakenly said, wait a minute, because he thought James Caan was not supposed to interrupt.
He's like, wait a minute. Cut. Scorsese, cut. I got James Caan cutting my line off.
So what are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it it's Brando.
That does push it up a star.
I'm going to give it a 4.
I was going to say 4 as well.
Yeah. Sonny interrupting is classic. Brando chastising him.
Yeah, I think the only reason keeping it from a 5 is that just kind of visually, it's kind of just like there's just a bunch of guys sitting in a room. It's not like particularly exciting or anything, but I guess a lot of the Godfather's guys sitting in a room, so I shouldn't hold that against it. But I'm going to go 4 as well.
Okay.
Yeah, plus it's a key story point because it reveals that it's the first crack that the Turk is like, that's the crack I'm going to exploit.
That'd be great if in the meeting the Turk said that. Said, wait a minute, Sonny's hot for the deal? Okay, all right, I can work with this. Sonny, let's talk later.
Tom, you're hot for the deal too, right? You know if it's good business sense. All right. So we kind of know how this is going.
Wait a minute. What's going on?
Even Clemenzo and Tessio are like, well, we could go along with this.
Oh no, that would be terrible. And they're like nodding their head slowly.
Well, let's all talk on LinkedIn later. That we know that Don's not on social media. He won't know what's going on.
They'll start talking to each other in Turkish so that the Don can't understand. All right, so I guess that'll wrap up minute 39.
And stick around for the bonus content because we're going to be talking about the top 5 countdowns we could do. Maybe we should have people vote on it. Mickey Mouse and
let's do that.
Fredo Corleone's Mickey Mouse nightclub.
Yeah, we'll come up with something.
Yeah.
All right. So stick around for the bonus content if you're one of those kind of people. If not, we'll see you
in 20 minutes from now. You can leave the gun and take the cannoli.